Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute. This music isn't right. The scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time to the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermornings. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF and Nevermind the Furthermore. Now, friends, you know by now, that I am brought to you by the good folks over at IndieCD.org. Yes, IndieCD.org, your one-stop shop for your web hosted needs. Sorry, there's a little bit of cough. If you want a presence online where you don't have to worry about being deplatformed, go there. I'm also made possible by sales of the Hybrids comic on fundmycomic.com, and you can still get 20% off that with secret code Beta 2023. You guys know that. And you know by now that if you go to Amazon, you can get the Simple Sword, the finest in So You've Never Held a Sword and You Want to Become a Swordsman technology, followed up by the Fighting Axe, because axes are your friends. They help you give permanent solutions to temporary problems, and sometimes you need to poke something or somebody way over there, so the Simple Spear. All three of these are pardon my tongue-in-cheek delivery, but my wonderful instruction manuals on how to use medieval weapons for fun and profit. Also made possible by the entire universe built around the Big Stompy Robots. Yes, the Big Stompy Robots game is the wonderful, easy to play, quick to learn, cheap to buy war game to get you into the hobby with whatever minis you have or proxies, because it shouldn't be that expensive. I mentioned hybrids. It's right here. I still have a few copies. It's a fairly limited run right now, but if you want it, you can get it over at IndieCD.org. Now, before I get deep into the lovely comments, I've got a few bits of announcement. First of all, accountability. I am down around 1,000 plus words on my book. Through the thinning veil. Why? Because I realized one of the stories that had been bogging me down from progress in this short story anthology isn't quite the short story I thought it was. As I'm blasting my way through it at relative Nick speed, I realized that this story isn't an anthology part. It needs more room and space to breathe on its own. So I cut it. I cut the whole thing, and I started writing something else that will be a shorter story. but is more necessary and in feel with the mix of fiction and, we'll say, fictionalized retellings of some of my misadventures. It's going to be a good book, and it's going to be coming out very soon because I just need to recalibrate. So that is on the menu, and we really need to understand that editing and realizing when a project isn't working is still progress. Just because it feels like a step back doesn't mean it's not progress. And I really want to get some of this stuff out because I've been harping on Rich for a long time to get some stuff out, and I am due. So I'm going to get some stuff out in the very near future. It is just coming down the pipe. Now, in other news related to my accountability, we are making leaps and bounds towards the facilities around here. So May 20th will actually be my first historical fencing guild practice in quite some time. I am very much looking forward to that. It will be an opportunity to see some old friends, get some sword work under me, and it has turned out as a testament to how much better I am doing that I feel I could do that in a few weeks, but it means I'm back in the drive. Now, it does also mean that on my list of furniture kills, I get to add a light bulb from my ceiling fan in the living room, and I may have had to have my lovely wife, who is infinite in her patience, as infinite in her patience as is radiant in her beauty, to help pick the bits of glass out of my hair and get it out from around my feet. Because apparently the lightsaber's just a bit longer than what I was drilling with, and that dang light bulb decided to step up and just got knocked down in a truly delightful fashion. So, drilling, getting things done, working on facilities. I got to watch a delightful film called Dubang, I believe, 3. I don't know if there are 2 before or if the 3 has other meaning. It's a Bollywood action flick. Delightful. It's on Prime. Just watch it if you have the stomach for such things, because it was great fun. I enjoy the random music numbers that pop up in those movies. I am not terribly musical. I do not dance worth much. But I do enjoy those musical numbers. So, with that all having been said, oh yes, we have to talk about current events, why it matters, and what we need to talk about. Right now, the Writers Guild of America is striking, to the best of my knowledge, and they are striking for better pay. And it is, to me, a sign of our economy and one of the great travesties of injustice that the writers who make the stories possible for some of the most influential film and TV and movies are making so little that they may need government assistance to survive. Meanwhile, their creations are pulling in millions or billions of dollars. That is not just or right. So from what I've heard, they are just trying to get better wages and better treatment. And I, for one, am completely for supporting collective bargaining. I think it's one of the few things that has kept our country great. And I encourage both the people who are hesitant to be involved in it, and the people who oppose it from a position of power, to look historically at what happens when groups aren't allowed collective bargaining. The history of things is not a pretty thing if you know it, and I'd really rather not see that. I do find it so funny that the Pinkertons have been in the news, of all things, to in line with this is going on too. And while those two things are both unrelated currently, I find it interesting when I see such things. I don't like dots that potentially could connect. So it's something I watch for. There's been a lot of union breaking, there's been a lot of shady stuff going on, and I am not for it. So there's that. Now, why does that matter to us? We're all independent writers, and the vast majority here are independent writers. I technically have a contract where I should be getting 50% of the profit, and should Hybrids, the Sons of God, start making any money with Luke Stone, the RPG, I will get that money. That is a whole nother thing, but please go support Fund My Comic and that for my sake and because it's a great game. But why does that matter? Because I know there are a couple people in the chat who may get a little spicy on this subject, and that's okay. It matters because that sets the high end of what we make. I don't understand how people in a field can throw and expect to throw others under the bus and not expect it to splash back on them. We need to pay our creatives better. We live in a society where the front men make a lot of money and the CEOs, big guys, make a lot of money. And the money towards the CEOs is squinted out. Bare minimums all the way up, and it's criminal. It's okay. It may not be criminal against the law, although I have some theories on that one sometimes. But I think it's morally and systemically unsustainable. And I think that's the root of the vast majority of what's wrong with our world, is that our systems are built in such a way to be unsustainable, and they are running out. People are running out of care to be part of corporations that don't give back as much as they take. People are I'm watching the pursuit of the old American dream die because people can't get it. And I will tell you, as somebody who's seen some stuff and paid a lot of attention, I'm good at this, guys. And you know me, I don't toot my own horn a lot. If I say I am good at this, or I say I paid attention, it physically hurts for me to admit self-praise. It really does. It can't hold. And if people stop believing in the carrot that's hung in front of them, they'll stop walking and the whole system will grind to a halt. And I think we're seeing signs of that. And I think we're seeing leverage against that. And there's a lot going on. So guys, if you work with people, pay them what you can. Pay them fair. Do what you promise. If you have a contract and you do it, there's a tendency to, it's easy to subdivide sometimes. If you say you're going to do something, get out and do it. If you can't, be honest. But everyone out there, everybody watching, especially my creatives, my loves, my duckies, I want you to follow my policy. I don't preach much about my logic, but it's very simple. I do the job, I get paid. Every writer, every creative, do the job, get paid. And I'm going to tell you, they are going to try and stiff, and they're going to try to replace people with AI. But first, they're going to try to threaten it. And I will tell you, the quality of all the media and entertainment will go down greatly because it won't have the same soul. So be careful out there. Now, that's kind of grumpy stuff, and I don't like to live in the grumpiness very long. It's not my jam. So I talked about my accountability. I can't wait to hear about yours and hear what's coming on further in the week. Yes, to qualify the people who will be asking likely, yes, I am aware that there's no Friday show up right now. We had some technical difficulties loading them. I will be able to go back in, but I didn't want to confuse folks with the link and have people going to the wrong show. So once this show is over, probably sometime tonight, I will get the rest of my shows up. I am planning to do all my broadcasting per the norm this week, and then we'll set up for next week. If there's any other questions, do ask. Now, I've been babbling for about 15 minutes. I'm going to run an ad because I want to get back to some of that. And then I am going to get right into the commentary. That's what you have to say about things. But we'll start with this one.
Hi, I'm Joe Bachman with Behind the Code, Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch on the Independent Creator Directory pages. On this show, you'll be able to watch me go through and update the Independent Creator Directory website with new features or new members depending on what we have going on that week. Again, that's Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch on the Independent Creator Directory page. Joe Bachman again with The Burning is Love on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time, also on the Independent Creator Directory Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch pages. To find out more about the Independent Creator Directory, visit indiecd.org to find other great authors, artists, game designers, and live streamers. On this stream, you'll get to watch me go through and do various wood burning projects that I put on theburningislove.com. I look forward to seeing you guys there and hope you have a great day.
And Joe, I hope right now you're having a great day. Let's get in the chat, see what you guys want to talk about, because I'm sure it's spicier than what I have to say. First, we're going to pull all this down to here. And we're going to go right here. Joe, first through the door, good morning. Happy hump day, my fine furry friends. Well, I try to keep the furry part, and a couple of you guys certainly keep the fine part, so we're making it work. Morning, friends. Hello, Kelly. That's Kelly Carlisle, and she is the creator of, you know this is coming, just have to get up to it, the Rembrandt Stratagem from the Paranormal Case Files of Bishop Kincaid. Guys, if you love old serials, just buy the book when it hits. It's been a joy. We got greetings. We got more. Greetings. Hi, Don. How you doing? You having a good one? I hope so. Hey, Kelly and Joe. We got more greetings. And the man, the myth, the legend, Carl Witzman. Good morning. A whole list of people. Don has once again left us to breakfast with a friend. You know, I'm starting to feel a little neglected, a little less loved. He said, I'm not wearing my fez enough. Oh, no. It even matches my shirt today. Anyway, no, I hope she's having a good time. Donna needs her outing. Hey, Grant, have an appointment at 10, but I'll be back later. Hey, well, I hope you have a good one, Grant, and we'll see you. Morning, Carl. Morning, Dawn. Here comes the sun. Doobie-doobie. Accountability. Did some writing, did some editing, fixed some cover work for her. Choosy author. Oh, my. Donna got copies. And so line. Donna got some copies of her newest lulu.com/shop. Donna, Carly, and Known Strangers. Paperback product and a bunch of gobbledygook. Hi. Thanks for the link, Carl. I'll check that out. Had to med Catboy. He's being too smart. Dun, dun, dun. Boy Cat. I dyslexied it. Keeping moving. Those cats are cunning, aren't they? Great, Kelly. Here's my third page for all that stuff. Lulu. No scratches. And Nick will mention it, but there's an indie creators directory too. Yes, there is. And a slowly building social network, which I think is wonderful. And again, given what I'm hearing, is a great thing to have as a fallback. Not today. We did laps around the house yesterday. He's 2 yards short. Nick. Glenn! How are you, sir? I haven't heard word from you in a while. I hope you're having a great one. I'm certain Hatch is doing well in the in the crowdfunding. And I hope weather is better for you as well. Cats can tell time too. Med time is coming. Time to hide. Yes. Kitty internal clocks are too good, Ella. I use them. I give my cats a treat during right around my lunch so that I don't forget to eat. I haven't quite gotten to using them for my metal arms because I didn't get up early after being up late. No, not at all. And apparently I turned into a Power Ranger for a minute there. Power Ranger scripted force. Anyway, ouchie! The Writers Guild as a union already had collective bargaining. Yes, they already have. As a union already has had collective. Yes, and they need to use it. Now, I know you had personal bad experiences with some union folks in the past. I understand that. And for the personal situation you went through, it is tragic. We went through certain similar things, actually, while my mom was working. However, one should not allow one's personal tragedy to be an excuse to allow tyranny to rise unstopped, unstood up, not abated. The opposite, good Lord. Unopposed would probably be the word I was fishing for. But so I knew as soon as I said something that there would be a comment on it. But we need right now, with everything I'm seeing across the different news, to be sure to express our support for the members of like the Writers Guild. Any organization standing up for writers right now in face of the corporate greed and the threat of AI and many other things really needs to be supported. Yep. No grumpies. I need good thoughts today. Well, on the flip side, while the screenwriters are striking, many people will have to turn towards independent content for entertainment. So there's that. Take it how you will. We have to be aware of what's going on and talk about it quite earnestly and honestly. Morning, folks. Hi, Eric. The Eric Hawkins. Oh, crud. Hi, Glenn. Don can use a pudding, too. Outing. Darn phone. Hey, we love outings. Glenn's having a good time. Whoops. Final editing of second edition will be done by next week into new formatting. They'll probably get published with Lulu this time, though. I've heard some good things. Formatting is the bane of my existence. So proud of you, Kelly. Actually support the right. Oh, okay. No. Okay. I'm really glad to hear that because I know in the past sometimes it's gotten a little crunchy. But no, they have collective bargaining. I'm saying I support collective bargaining across the board, because it is the only way that we can leverage And we have people like Elon Musk trying to build company towns. Anybody who studied, the turn of the century from the 1800s into the 1900s should feel a tremor in their soul at the thought of company towns. There are several people who believe that Elon's drive to terraform Mars and get people there has nothing to do with the grandeur people expect, and everything to do with a simple escape from international enforceable labor laws. There is, given what he tried to pull at Twitter, which was make people live and work in the same building under his guise. It's terrifying, and we need to keep an eye on these things, because I'm a fiercely independent individual, and I support fiercely independent individuals. I believe that kindness more often comes from individuals than from organizations. I believe that if we can work towards fairness. Oh, okay. You don't like most unions because I see corruption there. There's still decent unions out there. Support the WGA Teachers Union. Wonderful. And I kind of condensed that into Nikki's. You guys can read it. My writers are busy little bees on my upcoming anthology, Atomic Stories, slated for Christmas or January 2024. My free time is just an urban myth. Free time? Oh, God. Free time, I don't know what that is. We are all working to get progress and make things happen, and it's very exciting. My current hatred of personal hypocrisy has me pushing really hard, because I've been giving Rich a lot of grief, and I have several unfinished projects that I need to start getting out so I can get some of these things off my plate. And I encourage all of you to work hard to get things off your plate, because it feels great when you get them done. And making money is nice. Right now, I have too many things yelling at me at once. But at the same time, I had a conversation with one of my friends who's doing what show's Neil? Who's doing his first crowdfunder, Neil Litherland. He was just on the show. He's been around. And he lives by the razor's edge doing what he loves. But he was running into a problem I see a lot of us, where we will forget that we aren't machines. And if you think external drivers can drive you hard, internal ones will drive you to complete destruction. We will just grind ourselves in service of our muse or our family or our responsibilities. And sometimes we need to set up breaks and rhythms to let ourselves have that chance to rest, or else we will just be destroyed by our own efforts. You can't burn a candle at both ends all the time and then expect to have any wax left. Kelly goes further to say, thanks, Don. I appreciate that. Expect that new edition to sent to you in August. Awesome. So we are sailing through the show tonight. Everybody, you're so busy, and I'm glad to see it. Expect your new copy. I am eagerly and excitedly looking forward to it. Sorry, no. Fully understand Arms Full of Cat. The only reason I don't have Arms Full of Cat is I have my door closed. Now, I will actually be investing, and this is a little amusing, but in a screen door for my study. I will literally be installing an indoor screen door for my study to keep the cats out, but so I can open the door when I'm streaming like this, so I can hear what's going on and have airflow when the temperature gets bad. Push too hard, you end up like me. Exactly, Dawn. There are reasons we get along. Yay, Kelly, happy news. But it does mean that there's more stuff coming. It means there's more creativity coming. And I'm hoping to hear that because that's what we need. Ooh, what's this? You need good news. Glenn says, I just signed 4 contracts for 4 books. Well, I'm not much online these days. I love you all, but get it done. Get it done, Glenn. We are absolutely excited to hear that. I'll be the big, loud, noisy, dumb American and be like, woo! Yes. That's what I want to see. Contract work, get people getting paid, things going good. Let's run an ad. But before I do, sounds like Dawn's had a bad day, so here are her kitties. And if you want to hear the tales of her kitties, go follow her Facebook group. But and no, that's so far from anything I get paid for. That is just pure joy. And while I'm doing things that bring random joy, let's run the perfect opposite. Yeah, Carl made a creepy ad for a creepy book, and I'm glad to see it. Let's see. We got Nice Glenn. Updates to follow. Very exciting. We look forward to it. Thanks, Dawn. Thank you. Congratulations, Glenn. Creative stuff has been on the back burner as I have to find a side gig to keep a roof over my head. Rich, maybe you need to talk to a accountant or something, because if I remember what you told me you make, I'm at a loss at how you're in the shape you're in. It's tragic and confusing. I mean, there's got to be something you can do to get right, bud, because that just saddens me. I know you have a GoFundMe out there. Please throw the link for anyone who wants to help Richard out. But yeah, let's keep on that. Big grins for Kelly Carl. Thanks for the ad. Always. It's a great ad. And we've got Glenn smiling. Oh, and Mad Gasser novel is just a fantastic read. Buy that book, my friends. Yes. Oh, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, and we do thank Kelly. Kelly's doing great. And that it's a great book, and I'm in that. Oh, it is on Halloween or a little after on Halloween, so I am quietly enjoying it. It means, okay, it's health costs. Gotcha. And see, that is one of the crimes that we have in this country. I believe it is absolutely morally important that someone can work, be dedicated, and have to risk losing their home over health costs. It's insane. Seeing my babies made my heart happy. We lost George a year ago. I keep thanking him for sending us the new kids. Ah, that explains it. I'm so sorry. And that is the GoFundMe for Rich Asplin, folks. Please follow if you have anything that can help. Those health costs are BS, and they will stress you out, which doesn't help your health, and you get stuck in a stupid circle. Absolutely. But like I said, there's nothing I can. Ooh. There's little I can do, but we're going to keep trying to get help to you, Rich, and maybe we can set up something special, some kind of fundraiser. This group is amazing at that sort of thing, and we do so much. So I think something could be done. We'll figure something out, because I hate the word can't. It's a 4-letter word. That's a 4-letter word for a reason. It makes my stomach turn. But moving on from that, we've got a lot coming down the pipe. For those of us who live in an area where winter travel makes things I see. Between the three of us, usually having issues, things rack up. With Misty and I both working, we were able to stay afloat, but with her out for medical leave has hurt us. I understand. I am back. And welcome back, Grant. And good morning, Jody. Let's see. One thing I learned, yes, a lot of times you can negotiate pay if you talk to the hospital billing offices. You can negotiate a lot about what bills you're going to pay, how much it's going to cost, how it's going. There is a whole lot to do on that front. And I really do recommend you just message Amanda and ask her about that. Okay, Rich? Because Mandy's talked to a lot of hospitals. She might be able to give you a bit of advice if she knows what's going on. I learned by going broke twice in my life. And we're joined by Jody. But if we're building each other up, means building our own foundation, both mentally, physically, socially, health wise. This is why I try to get up every half hour or so. This is why we're all trying to get healthier and get going. It's part of why I started practices back up. Let's see. If you pay a medical bill in cash, sometimes they will take 50% off what they're asking. There are people you can talk to who will do help pro bono. I know they exist. Just got off call with my therapist where we were talking about this. The older I get, the less I like capitalism. I believe capitalism needs to, how do I want to put this? Capitalism has to happen because no other system really works. However, just like the actions of foreign powers need to be monitored, the actions of major corporations need to be monitored. And I think we need to keep what's a business matter and what's a living matter separate. So for me, I don't think businesses should be trusted with anything that can end your life. Okay, I personally don't believe businesses should be involved in utilities. I don't believe businesses should be involved in Medicare or pharmacies. I don't think they should have the kind of power they have in these sorts of things. However, I do believe that fair work should generate fair compensation, and it should be set up in a system where you can function comfortably. And right now, our equations are all off because this broken system is all to support the needs of the few, and it's going to be problematic. But we're all out here also doing our own part. And a lot of it is mitigating our own desires, stepping back from what we may not actually need, realizing we don't need to keep up with the Joneses, and building our lives in a different way. Reprioritizing helps. It also breaks the system because we are, media is teaching us to consume, and so they can produce, so that they can make money, so that we have to work, so that they can produce, so that they can make money. And that cycle, as it is, can't hold. And it just, it's just a matter of finding a balance. Let's go back into the comments. I thought you're supposed to get more conservative as you get older. Why am I getting more liberal as I get older? I think our views tend to crystallize as we age. If we don't take a lot of work, it's very easy for our minds as they age to become rigid. And we tend to become slightly more extremist in whatever our beliefs are. Now, you've been subjected to a period of time where the conservatives have been hijacked, in my opinion, by some truly nefarious parties. And we are being pulled at extremes and forced into tribalism. And I look at it and I go, I am someone who, yes, I am a Christian, but I am a constitutionalist, and I am an issue by issue guy. So I think the only way to deal with it is to have the real conversations. But what's going on is our goofy two-party system, if we're going to be political, I'll get down into it and then I'll move on, has eroded into, we have two completely bizarre choices again, that 70% of the voters on either side really don't want either of them. We need better options for our president. And until, we're just sort of trapped right now. And that's not a good place for people to be. But we're going to leave that there because I don't want this to become too political. Also, setting up two exhibitions, says Glenn Fleming, of Helen's ceramic art. We're looking at trains and boats and planes, not to mention helicopters, to get over to the States in July, August. I'd love to see you out here. I have never been busier. I love it. You know what? When I know what I'm doing and I'm getting stuff done, it is one of the best feelings in the world. Everyone and their brother keeps wanting to call me while watching the show today. Well, that's because everyone loves you, Joe. With all this going on, I'm blessed to have you in your life. We love you, Dawn. I may not have been able to read that line right because I'm a little tired. It's been an odd day. But we are blessed to have you. You make the day better, Dawn. We're glad to have you around. And Joe is... Oh, we have a comment dump. Give me a second. Joe's greeting everyone. And people are greeting Joe. As we grew up in the American system, I was taught to believe the American education. Well, yes. And I've watched the American education system change and the economic system change. And we just have to decide what we're going to do about it. And right now, as independents, we're kind of keeping, we're doing our own thing as much as humanly possible. I love making things and selling things to people. I just wish that there'd be less focus and attention on the little guys in fields like taxes and markups and more the big guys. But that's the way the world is working currently. Glenn's greeting everybody. Dang them, Joey, be good. You should be here. Nick, I've checked into that audio thing, says Kelly Carlisle. I'm going to pursue the idea next year as I've heard from others that BK should be like that. I'm taking your advice. Hallelujah. Bishop Kincaid deserves at least an audiobook series. It is so much fun. And there's a real boon in audiobooks because people like being able to work on things or drive and still hear a story. I love audiobooks. I love audio stories. I love old radio plays. A lot of people do. I'm so glad, and I hope it goes great for you. Capitalism supports innovation. Problem with it is morals get in the way. One person organization's greed can damage industry and nations as a whole while they change the standards of living. Yes, this is why the idea, people forget, and this is something shocking, but we'll say it. Government is supposed to be a form of collective bargaining. The idea of government is supposed to be that we pool a small measure of our resources together so that by being lumped together, we can afford to do things that benefit all. Everyone benefits from quality schools. Everyone benefits from quality roads. Everyone benefits from quality utilities. Yeah, I said it. I don't think utilities should be corporate. That's fine. Come at me if you disagree. The more programs that we can work through and make set up with good stewardship, the simpler and better quality of life we can have. Now, you want fun stuff, you should have to work and pay for fun stuff. But you shouldn't have to live in fear as an American that, oh no, if I see my doctor, I might lose my house. We've been down that route. I understand entirely where Richie's coming from because I've lived through it. But we had resources Richie doesn't. So I'm trying to find other options to help him. We need a balance, and we are out of balance. All systems fail created by humans will fail because humans are involved. True, but also a cop-out. I don't suffer nihilism well. And, nicely said. Oh, it's very poetic and it's enduring, but it does little to help with the problem. So that's why, we gotta find another better way. I just miss Dawn if she isn't here. We got gray skies when there's no dawn. Boom, boom, boom. Just seems to rain every day. Boom. Got no gray sky, sun when there's no dawn. And dawn's always gone too long. Whenever dawn goes away. Calvi and Shar say hi to Aunt Dawn. Don't necessarily support. I don't support communism because it never works. We've gone too far to the side of protecting corporations, and that's the difference. What we need is a controlled capitalism that keeps an eye on the real threats, which are when gaming companies can send out mercenaries. We have reached a point where maybe the corporate structure is too powerful. Me too, Carl. I miss my weekly dose of. If I miss my weekly dose of Dawn in my life to keep me silent. Dawn is not a drug that you can buy on the market. Side effects of Dawn are smiling, being happy, quizzical changes in blood pressure, amusement, distraction, hilarity, bewilderment, enchantment. Yes, using Dawn should be checked with your local mental health care providers. Is Dawn right for you? So I'm ranting this morning. Otherwise, things are going okay. Rants happen. I came in strong today because this was one of those hump days where it feels it. Now, I'm going to be supporting all sorts of things, including supporting the library. We've got some background stuff to help. One thing that was discussed and then successfully pitched was Amanda got a grant for the library to get food plants, to teach kids and locals how they can start to grow food on their property or in pots or whatever. I believe this sort of skill set is necessary because if things are going to get rough, instead of being scared, be prepared. Acquire skills, because even if you lose everything, the skill is still in your head. This is why I collect them. If you have the means, learning to plant and grow something, anything, being self-sufficient in anything helps. And shopping small helps the community. So this is why I support small writers, because you guys are out there giving quality content. Okay? It deserves fair cost. And we're not, when you support Dawn or through her Michaela a lot of times, or Grant Lankard, or any of the people in this list, Carl Witzman, the money isn't going, at least in majority, to big guy Moneybags' account. It goes towards independent creators. I use that money, and then I could buy food for my family, or I could buy something fun like a Nerf gun and have Nerf wars with my son. These are things that matter. Education for my son. I could take that money and donate it to the library. I could take that money and I can use it to upgrade things for my sword stuff. Doing good can be as simple as where you shop, who you shop, and what you buy. I'll be honest, the vast majority of the content I take in is independent. I watch a lot of YouTube. I prefer to watch YouTube. I prefer to watch shows that are created and skit shows. And, oh, God. I'm so sorry. I'm just yawning today. Educational shows through YouTube, because I know the vast majority of those creators are small creators, and my attention and the ad revenue, when applicable, is going to someone who could do good. So that's right. Let's keep that up. I mean, Don always makes me happy. Absolutely. Well, folks, apparently I'm not going to get to participate today due to texts and phone calls. See y'all later. We love you, Joe. I did the first episode of my show yesterday. It was fun. Thank you, guys. Oh, God. I'm sorry I missed it, Grant. I'm genuinely sorry I missed it. I'll catch the rerun. I was sitting there going, I am forgetting something. And I was running around, complete ADD moment. I will catch that on the rerun. Because, be good, next week. Yeah, Nick Tockert, who will be guest next week. Who? Yeah, so some rabid, chunky monkey running around. Mysterious Nick Tockert. With his ominous dot, 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 dot. Who knows what evil lurks in the cornfields and distant woods of Indiana? Nick Tockert knows. Bye, Joey. Thank you, Calvi and Shar. You guys should check out my show next week. Don't forget, it'll be Monday going forward. Yes, Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I will be there early when you send me the link and such. Dawn is always here, Carl. Because here comes the dawn. Do, 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 do. Sure will, Grant. See you then. Bye. Communism. You can't have it. Capitalism. You can have it if you pay. Rock in a hard place. True. Thanks for the love and giggles. Always. With that said, add banking and insurance industry corporate side needs to be changed for the better. Absolutely. Pinkertons are a private security company. Now, the fact that they were private security was bulldog their way into private residence is BS. They're not just a private security company. Oh, no. You need to look them up. They are much, much closer to PMCs than simply a private sec firm. They're a private industrial espionage firm. They do a lot. It was bad enough that to combat the attitude, Hasbro was careful to purchase themselves an ethics award. I said that right. They purchased an ethics award. An example of capitalism run amok. I work a 15-hour day on Monday to set up a shareholders meeting for U.S. Steel. Absolutely. For me, I price my books just above cost because I don't need the money for writing. Others really need that money, so buy their books too. I'll be honest, I keep my stuff just above cost because I want to get my books in people's hands as inexpensively as possible, likely adding to my sufferings. But it's a choice, and I admire your reasoning. The amount, money, time, and resources that went into share meetings makes me sick in the stomach. We laid carpet that is just going to be pulled up. Oh God, it was. I'm going to say I totally understand and fully agree with your sentiment. Maybe you can reach out to Habitat for Humanity and see if you can't get that carpet donated somewhere. Do some good with it. There's too much waste going on in communities that don't have the where people could really use that stuff. So see if there's an opportunity to do good. I would say I would not talk specifics on a broadcast of any sort where you name your employer as you're one of the good people who has the courage to run with your actual name. I will say this. I respect the heck out of people who go online and say their piece with their actual name. When people use, when they hide behind filters, aliases, I do tend to step back a bit because that means that they're either in a situation where they can't, which I understand, or they are hiding from consequence. So just be careful of the consequences that naming your company can do. The people who have it all have too much to lose, so they won't allow people who have nothing but a small piece. The problem is the system will eventually rebalance itself. Historically, it always does. And it will either be done in a peaceful, civil way or a dramatic, uncivil way. We run the risk of le terror again. If people are allowed towards barbarism and encouraged towards barbarism, you can't be surprised when they're barbaric. And right now, I have never seen people so tribal and so ready to be mobilized to do something. This has been a very dangerous time in history, especially in American history. And I really would rather folks say, hey, you are wealthier than most people can ever imagine. Take a step back and go, is it worth it? Because it really isn't. And I'm not condoning anything negative. I am begging. I am pleading. I am on my hands and knees before the masses saying to the poor, and I count everybody's poor, almost everybody, tell your story, get out there and find what you live for and do it, because you can't live for the 9 to 5. You may have to work to live, but you cannot live to work, because you will go insane. And that's why I think so many good men especially die as soon as they retire, or a couple of years before retirement. It's like the system is built to squeeze out the maximum juice out of people and then just throw their bodies on the pile. And we have opportunities to be better than that. And we can encourage better than that. We as small creators have a chance to tell stories. And with what we write, we get to decide, are we inspiring people towards a better way, or are we rolling in the muck at and the fury and the undirected anger that lets us be guided. I believe there's somebody I respect. There's some people I respect more than a great many. One of them is Mr. Fred Rogers. Mr. Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Yeah, that guy. And one thing, he quoted his mother, and he said, when times are scary, look for the helpers. Because there's always helpers. And I say unto you, dear friends, listeners, I reach out with this very simple challenge that you look around for the helpers. And when you have trouble finding them, and friends, you will, that you yourself become a helper. Become that person who does a little something. Find something in some way to build others up. If you have money, use it well. If you have time, use it to build others to make things better. If you have a platform, wield that with precision. Not just to build yourself up. And you do deserve it. You deserve to level up. You deserve more money. You deserve your works to be recognized. You deserve your works to improve. But wield that in such a way that you guys, you wonderful, brilliant band of blessed lunatics whom I adore, not only build each other up and not only build yourselves up, but you build a network that the rising tide lifts all boats. It lifts all ships and it lifts all hopes. And I believe that needs to extend outward. And the farther we can cast that out, the more people we can build up and help and elevate, it's going to elevate us too. So let's do that. Right, Glenn. The people who make the rules are the ones who have the power. So obviously the rules, yes, they are. But we have the ability to run parallel. And I think we can. Well, I have to go feed the cats and get some actual writing done. Have a good day. Have a good day, Carl. We were a little serious today, but I think it warranted serious discussion. When you put up a persona instead of yourself, it becomes too easy to run out of control because there's nobody there to stop you. Actions have consequences, yes. Be the change that you feel is needed in this world. Bye, Carl and kids. And you know what? I think on the Be the Change, see you, Dawn. I'm going to run an ad, and we'll see if anybody has anything else. If not, we're going to... we're going to do something else. Let me see. Where did the... Mike Jimmy's project, Life on Korra, is amazing, and that it keeps going and he keeps animating it is just an endless source of I'm genuinely impressed. And I like to put his stuff out there. He's saying, see you, Don. And it looks like the chat has gone silent. Hey, gang, I've got to go. Get back to the book. Everyone have a great day. You too. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let you guys go with this. Get out there and create, edit, fix it, because when you create something, you can edit, you can improve it, you can get better, but you cannot edit a blank page. I will see you all right here Friday for another episode of Nevermind the Furthermore, and later that night over on the Historical Fencing Guild Network for the weekly Historical Fencing Guild live stream. I've got plans. We'll see if we can make them work. Till then, have a good one. I love you. Be kind to yourself and each other. Toodles.